Hi, good morning. My name is Mr. Cisse. As an introduction to my first video, this is going to be the first time we are going to swim into this massive area of how to prevent mental illnesses. As promised in my last video, the first thing I'm going to talk about is neurobiology. Now, I'm going to make it very basic. So in this video, we're going to talk about how part of the brain works. We're going to have a little bit of knowledge about the brain cells, the synapses, and the transmitters. But before we dive into that, in terms of prevention of mental illnesses, I want you to get this basic phenomenon at the beginning of this video. There is a strong evidence from neuroscience, neurobiology, neuroendocrinology, neuroimmunology, and epigenetics that our thinking can cause mental illnesses. So the pathogenesis of mental illness, the causes of mental illness, has been evidenced by different professionals, different specialists, that majority of mental illnesses can be caused by our thinking. Now, if majority of the mental illness can be caused by our thinking, therefore, majority of mental illness, or if not all mental illnesses or disorders, can be prevented by the way how we think. And this is how it works. When we think, it creates a perception. So our thinking generates a perception. Our perception generates feelings. Our feelings create our emotions. Then our emotions create our actions. And there is a strong evidence that our thought will create our perception, the firing of our neurochemicals. Is believed that the neurons that fire together wire together. So if you have a particular thinking pathway, you are creating a socket of that thinking pathway. So you're firing neurons together, they wire together, they create a socket. And that socket can create a condition, a perception, a feelings, an emotion that eventually will lead to your personality. That personality can create a problem for you. So we're not diving into neurobiology yet, but it's to give you a basic concept that if your thinking can cause mental illnesses, therefore, there is evidence to suggest that our thinking can prevent mental illnesses. And this, I'm going to stop in this short video so you can contemplate over this. If our thinking has been evidenced by different specialists, neurologists, neurobiologists, epidemiologists, epigenetics or neuroepigenetics, neuroendocrinologists, and neuroimmunologists. I'm going around this epidemiology thing because public health is always about epidemiology. Sorry about that word, terminology, epidemiology. Forget about it. I'm talking about neuroimmunology. If this specialist area all come to one conclusion, that our thought has massive influence with our mental illnesses or mental disorder or diseases. Therefore, our thought can prevent mental illness and mental disorders. And we are going to talk about this in a very simple, patient, or if you like, public-friendly terminology, so people understand these terms without bombarding them with some scientific words. So, before we start diving into neurobiology, let's start something very simple in our introduction.